Anybody else not here? Anybody who's not here, please raise your hand. Yeah? Okay.
Very funny. Now, Tiki makes me laugh. All the time. Okay, did you have a nice coffee? Nice little snack. Okay. So we're going to do like a second session. It won't be as long as the first one. But as you can see here, you know, I was mentioning throughout the book series Our World. And it's, of course, 6 levels, right? 1 to 6, as well as a starter level. And our whole idea, what I really wanted to get across in the first part was just the approach that we're trying to take. And mainly, you know, we're trying to bring the world to the classroom, you know, to bring the classroom to life. And I thought it would be fun, just as an introduction to Our World, for you to learn the Our World theme song that comes up in all of our videos and our audio. So I thought I would just teach it to you a little bit, yeah. Except, you know, I am not really that great at guitar, but I thought we could learn it in case you're interested. So the words are there. It's kind of small, but I will just teach it to you line by line, okay? So just listen first, and then just repeat the line after me. So it starts like this. This is our world. Okay, just sing that part. This is our world. Good. Everybody's got a song to sing. Everybody's got a song to sing. Each boy and girl. Now you. Each boy and girl. And then. This is our world. One more time. This is our world. And then the next part is a call and response, right? So when I say our, you say world. Our? World. Our? World. When I say boy, you say girl. Boy? Girl. Boy? Girl. And then in the next part it says, when I say everybody move, that's when you have to start dancing. So show me your dance moves. What are your dance moves? Yeah. You can do it any way you want. Yeah, I can see it's generational. Yeah, I can tell some of your dance moves. What decade was your heyday? Yeah. Okay, and then you keep dancing until I say, when I say everybody stop, and then everybody stop. Okay? And then we sing the refrain again. This is our world. Everybody's got a song to sing, each boy and girl. This is our world. And then you end it there, okay? Let's try one more time. Are you ready? This is our world. Everybody's got a song to sing, each boy and girl. This is our world. When I say our, you say world. Our? World. Our? World. When I say boy, you say girl. Boy? Girl. Boy? Girl. When I say everybody move. Yeah. Go ahead. When I say everybody stop. Everybody stop. This is our world. Everybody's got a song to sing, each boy and girl. This is our world. Okay, now, okay. Oh, okay, thanks. You could clap, but that wasn't the good part. The good part is, now we're going to sing it with the music, okay, but we're going to put gestures, right, to each of these parts. But you're going to tell me what gestures we should use, right? So for our, how would you show me our? This? I see a lot of people like, oh. Okay, so repeat after me, our. Yeah. Now how would you show me world? Like this. Okay, so world. Now our world. That's nice. Our world. Okay, song to sing. How would you show me song to sing? Song to sing like this? That's cute. Is this how you gesture song to sing? Oh, that's just talk. Okay, so then how would you show me singing? Oh, like that, like that. You want to show, she's doing it right. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Okay, so everyone, song to sing. Song to sing. Okay, how about boy? How would you show me boy? That's very cultural. Oh, you just point to the boy. Okay, so boy, and then girl. Okay, so when we go boy and girl, we point boy, girl, right? Boy, girl. All right, move. You know what to do with move. You're going to dance. You're going to do your dance. Yeah. And then stop. Stop. Yeah. How would you show stop? The gesture, like that. Okay. All right, so let's review. Our world. Song to sing. Boy, girl. Okay, move. Yeah, move. All right, and then stop. Okay, so now we're going to sing it with the music. It's going to go quickly. Okay, so let's see if you can do this all together. Okay, we'll go through it. This is our world. Everybody's got a song to sing. Each boy and girl. This is our world. Okay. I say our, you say world. Our. And I say boy, you say girl. Boy. And I say everybody move. Okay. And I say everybody stop. This is our world. Everybody's got a song to sing. Each boy and girl. This is our world. Okay, let's do it one more time. When I say our, you say what? Word. Okay, our. Word. Let's see your arms. Our. Word. Okay, let's start one more time, and then we're going to. This is our world. Everybody's got a song to sing. Each boy and girl. This is our world. And I say our, you say world. Our. And I say boy, you say girl. Boy. And I say everybody move. And I say everybody stop. This is our world. Everybody's got a song to sing. Each boy and girl. This is our world. Great, thank you. Okay, so actually, we're going to talk about projects in the young learner classroom. Okay, and oh, these kids cute. This was my student Sujin, and she's from Korea. She did her master's in TESOL at University of Maryland. These are her students. And we're going to talk about engaging kids in the classroom with projects. And as you can see, you know, with our world, of course, we're trying to bring the world to the classroom. But here's the first question I have, which is like, why projects? Why would we use projects? Okay. Now, with a partner, I want you to just turn to them and quickly finish this sentence. We should use projects because young learners, okay? Just go ahead with your partner. Each give one sentence. Finish it. All right, did you finish? Did you finish? A sentence each. What was your sentence? Because young learners learn by doing.
Can be creative.
Get invigorated.
Can be creative.
Oh, can be. For some reason, I think I have a hearing problem. I've just realized this in today's session. Can be creative. Very good. It can be invigorating. Any other ideas? Yeah.
Learn to cooperate. Learn to cooperate.
Learn to cooperate. That's very important.
Teamwork.
Teamwork. Okay. Very good. Oh, because they're social learners. Okay, so really you could put everything that we talked about in the earlier session, right? right? Young learners are active learners. They learn by doing. They're social learners. They learn through interaction. And also, what was the other one? Like Lynn Cameron talked about how young learners learn language from the inside, in action, in interaction, and with intention, right? That there's a purpose. And so there's a reason to use language. And they can be creative. And they can work together in teams. All right, so in our world, like I said, we want to bring the classroom to life, and we do so also by having projects in each unit. And we're hoping that these projects reflect things that kids will enjoy, that they can be creative, but also build certain skills that are important. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of these projects. So, of course, one reason why we should use projects is that students can practice using the new language in context, right? So no matter what your approach is to teaching language, and I would say even if you have some more grammar-based approaches, well, they need to learn within a context, right? It's that grammaring. It's not just learning the structure, right? But learning really how to use it, not just the form. And so, as an example, in a unit about the house, right, this is obviously Cappadocia in Turkey, but in the unit on the house, where we're learning, like about different types of furniture, right, then in the end, after going through the grammar and the vocabulary and all of that, we have a project where students can use that language, right? Where they actually create, their rooms in the house with the furniture. They make a shoebox house, okay? And so you see here, right, you can provide your boxes, make the rooms, and then actually there's, cutouts in the book that students can use, okay? So they can cut it out and then glue the picture. So it's a way for them to be creative, but then also then when they present to use the language. Another reason why it's important to use projects, right? Students can relate language and content to their lives. Okay, in this unit, which is talking about different places, it's called My Place in the World. They're learning about, these are typical things, right, that you see in an English language book, train station, hospital, all these places. And they learn also, about other places, how to give directions, all of that. This is where, we have this project, My World Circles, which you saw before. Okay? And remember, we were saying, okay, what we're trying to do is relate the content to children's lives, in this case, both locally, my house, my neighborhood, my town, then globally, my country, continent, all the way to my world. So in these ways, I'm trying to connect the content to their lives. Okay, in another unit here, this is all about different art forms, right? It's called Arts Lost and Found. This, by the way, was in Sri Lanka. Love it. And they learn about, this is a higher level, actually, it's level 5. Okay, then they're learning about different storytelling traditions, okay, these sort of dragon boat racing. Okay, and then in this one, the project is a culture time capsule. Okay, so it's a time capsule, right? You put things in the box that are supposed to represent your culture. And you close it, you bury it for 100 years, and then you think somebody's going to open it up. Now I want you to just think about right now, like what would you or maybe your students put in this box? Okay, so turn to the people next to you. I'm just going to give you a couple minutes. What would you put in this culture time Okay, so you have some ideas? If you can give me 3 good ideas, I'll give you a little prize I have over here. You have 3 ideas?
iPhone.
That's one. Okay, an iPhone or a tablet. Yeah, you have 3 ideas for this box. And you, okay, you were raising your hand. Go ahead. Ah, okay.
family, because
Okay.
the culture type.
Yep.
And anything that has to do with the city itself, like a map with monuments or.
Okay, very good. Let me give you a little. You get a book about river dragons. It's a hotel from China. Yeah, thank you. I like that idea. So you also were thinking about local culture, right? Not just, I'm going to ask you guys to pass the sticker you have here. Thank you. Local culture, right? So it's not just like the culture of a particular country per se, but of where you live. Yeah. Other ideas, you had 3. Did you have 3? You were saying iPhone. Yep.
Yes, I thought a book with the Greek alphabets maybe, as a local culture, as you said.
Okay. Do you have any other ideas? 3? No. Okay, that's okay. Yeah.
I'm going to recommend something related to food, spices.
Spices. That can last 100 years, right? Yeah, that can. You wouldn't want to put like, the souvlaki in there. But spices, yes, right? Okay, very good. Any other ideas?
A toy, maybe like a favorite toy.
Oh, maybe a favorite toy. Because you're thinking about your students, right? And what they might think. Yeah.
PlayStation.
PlayStation. Ah, yes. Okay. Yeah, they might put the kids.
This with movies.
Oh, okay. Very good. With movies.
Of our time.
What's that?
The movies of our time.
The movies of your time. Yes. Okay. Yes. All right. The newspaper. Yes. Yeah, and actually, so the coins, or who knows, 100 years, we may not be using them anymore, right?
A school book, maybe. A textbook.
Oh, yeah, that would be very interesting. I always find that interesting when I find old school books, like an old grammar book or something like that. It's very interesting, right? Any other ideas? Well, what are some things that we're learning about? Now, I know this was about culture, right? But what are we actually getting students to do in a project like this? In fact, we're getting them to, 1, reflect on their own culture, but also to really think critically about certain things related to culture. Now, you might not be telling them you're doing this, but you may be asking them some questions as they're doing the project to really get them to learn how to think critically. So first of all, what they're doing is this, right? What are important aspects of our culture to share with others? That's the assignment. But you also might be cueing them to think critically about, well, what's going to represent our culture well, right, and honestly? What values do these objects represent? Do any of these objects have some sort of value? I mean, if you were choosing a particular movie, are you also choosing something that has that reflects some value to people in the future? Some movies might be a little empty with value, but others might reflect something that's very political at the time, or it might have some meaning. Okay? What are some important aspects of culture that may change in the future? Right? Like money notes or things like that. But you might think about getting your students to think about whenever you're doing something, writing something, communicating something, you always have to think about the audience. Okay? So this is a lesson of any kind of communication, even if it's you're bearing this box, you're communicating something to people in the future. So, what are aspects of culture that they might find interesting, right? And also, this notion of culture, which is related to the local culture. What is important to me, okay? Because kids are pretty much into me, not me, themselves. What is important to others about our culture? Elders, other social groups, the other gender, right? Other regions. So, you might be asking them these questions, right? Like in your region versus another region, and what makes this culture special compared to another. So there's all kinds of things you can do. You're not necessarily going to list these for your students, but as they're working on it, you might be asking them these questions to get them to think more critically. Okay, so also, why projects? Well, students can learn important 21st century skills. So what are some 21st century skills?
Cooperation.
Cooperation, collaboration,
Presentation.
presentation skills, the others, critical thinking. Okay, so actually, so there's different models of 21st century skills, right? The partnership for 21st century skills, the assessment and learning for 21st century skills. These days, people have kind of, like categorized some of the important skills that they think that we can all integrate into our instruction, no matter who we are, what we're teaching. The 4 C's. This is what people are kind of talking about: communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. Now, of course, there's some more broader categories. So they talk about creativity and innovation, right? Critical thinking and problem solving. But they try to distill that into like 4 C's to make it easier for people to remember. Okay? So, we know that our young learners, I showed you this video before, they have to learn how to communicate, but also collaborate, right? She looks a little bossy there. Right? And so, I was there in class, she's like, these ones, okay. But anyway, also presentation skills, working together, this collaboration, right? I thought that was so cute, right? Because he's just like, and you point to this one, yeah. In any case, they're building skills that will help them in the future in order to be more successful, and we want to integrate those into the classroom.
May I ask you a question?
Yes. Yes.
When we have to form teams,
Yes.
we should ask them to form their teams to choose their partner, or we should tell them with whom they're going to work with.
That depends. So I would say that when they're very young, sometimes it's very difficult for them to handle that on their own, right? So for example, if they're like 6 years old, and if you say, okay, pick a partner and do blah, blah, blah. I mean, how long are you going to wait for them to like figure out how to do that? And it also depends on the activity. You might be just doing a quick hair work, but if it's group work, I would actually say it depends on the activity, how much time you have, and how open it's going to be. But for a teacher, a lot of times you should also strategically make the groups so that they're going to get the most out of it.
When we make groups, we should make groups of your friends, or for instance, kids that they don't get well with someone else. They should be in the same group or separate them.
No, again, I think it depends on the activity. So for example, if this is an activity you're going to give them a bit more choice with, right, where it's an activity, a project that's going to last a little bit longer, what you might want to do is have them work with some of their friends, right, that's going to be more long-term and ones that they can work with, right? If it's shorter term, and also maybe just in class, right? And also there might be different tasks that you need different levels. You might be thinking less about who's friends with whom and their proficiency level, right? And who can do certain tasks. So it all depends on the activity. I would never say you should do it one way or the other, because depending on what you're doing, you may strategically put them in groups for a reason, right? Sometimes you want them a higher level and a lower level. Sometimes you don't want to do that because a higher level will do all the work. It depends on the task. And you want to actually put them with people at similar levels so that they're all working, right, at that one level.
But even if they don't get well, they should be, or they could be in the same group.
Yes. Yes. And you need to give really explicit instructions too. Yeah. So for teachers, when you're working with that, sometimes depending on their age, or if it's a boy and a girl, or sometimes they don't like a certain student, you'd still need to help them to learn how to work together with teams. Yeah. Now when they're really young, I wouldn't say you're going to do extended group work anyway, because then you're not going to be using your time wisely. So when we have our projects, we try to make it like good for that developmental level, right? So that it's going to be something they can accomplish in class. Yeah. Yeah, that's tricky. That's tricky. Also, you know what? It is culturally based, right? It is culturally based too. So like in Korea, for example, there's some hierarchies that if you were an outsider, you wouldn't perceive, but hierarchies by age or by certain social groups and things like that. So teachers have to think about some of those things when they have group kids together. Okay, so this example here is about smart choices. So one thing that you need to make sure your young learners can do as they start to grow is to think critically and be able to make good choices for their lives. In this case, we're trying to teach them some critical thinking skills about information that they get. So one thing about the 21st century is you can have exposure to all kinds of information on the internet, right? But how can you tell if that's good information or valid information, or if we look at advertisements, what kind of messages are getting put into our heads? So we try to encourage students to be ad detectives, and we give them some strategies. So for example, right, advertisers often use group pressure. An ad shows a lot of young people, each with their own mobile phone. Message: everyone has a mobile phone, you need one too, right? Or advertisers can use association, which is everyone looks happy and healthy in the ad. They're cool and beautiful too. Message: if you buy the product, you will be happy and cool like these people. Okay, so we're teaching them these underlying messages. So, they can create a collage of ads, but what you want them to do is then analyze them. This is like really building a good 21st century skill, right? So let's say they pick an ad like this. Have you seen this before? This is for this Pepsi, so Diet Pepsi Zero. And it's, as you see the text, the new skinny can. Okay, now if you were to analyze this, like what message are you getting from this ad? So if you drink it, you'll lose weight or you'll be skinny, or like, do you know who this person is? By any chance? This is an actress, Sofia Vergara from Modern Family. But she's very beautiful or whatever. The message can be varied, right? I don't know how skinny she is, but she's selling it because she's sexy and beautiful, right? Very voluptuous. Or I'm thinking, oh, if I drink this Pepsi from the skinny can, I'm going to be more beautiful like her. In any case, right, what we're trying to do is get students to really think about how advertisers are trying to get you to buy their product by thinking about who's responsible for the ad, who is the advertiser selling the product to, do you want to buy the product and why? What techniques does the ad use, right? Group pressure, association, testimonial, a celebrity, an attractive person, time pressure, and what does the ad say or suggest about the product? But you can take it a step further than that too, to get kids to realize that actually the advertisers have already made an assumption about all of you looking at it. The assumption, of course, is that you already know that being skinny is good, right? And that that's what you should
Can I just ask
be.
a question on that?
Yeah.
In American English, what's the connotation of skinny?
What's the connotation of skinny?
Positive or negative?
It can be negative in some contexts. It can be.
Because I would say in British English, it's negative.
Oh, it's very negative.
That's it.
So if someone calls you skinny,
It's not nice.
oh, it's not nice.
No, slim.
Oh, slim. Smells.
I'd say the slim can.
Oh, you call it the
The
slim can.
Skinny to me has a
Yeah,
negative
yeah.
connotation.
You know what? There's a lot of products called skinny this, skinny that. Actually, these days, it's a little bit of a trend. Maybe it's just in the
Has
U.S.
anybody seen that in the UK? Skinny can.
Yeah, in jeans. They say skinny jeans.
Yes, skinny jeans.
Not skinny jeans or skin tight jeans?
No, skinny jeans. It's a
Skinny
thing.
jeans.
Yeah, it's a
So
thing.
it's now starting to be used in Europe? Or is it an Americanism?
So there's like the skinny cow, right? That cheese.
Yeah?
Yeah. They have
Oh,
other
I
things
feel old.
called skinny, like skinny margaritas,
Yeah?
which is what they're selling. It's sort of like a diet margarita.
Yeah?
There are loose feet, normal feet, and skinny feet. Like
Yeah.
tight. Yeah, and they use it in the States. Sorry, in the
In the UK too? Oh, I've been gone too long.
Yeah, but that's interesting though. In here, and also it's a little bit of a trend, skinny biscuits, skinny jeans, right? Skinny margaritas, the skinny can. It's a little bit of a trend right now, right? Sort of a now thing where you're like, oh, the new skinny can, right? But again, the whole idea, and this is why it's like skinny margaritas, skinny jeans. The trend is also that you should know that you're supposed to be skinny, right? I think that's not a good message for kids, and it's not healthy. It's not necessarily good or shouldn't necessarily be sort of the desirable thing, right? So imagine the image your kids would have, right? Yeah, there's a stereotype. In Korea, for example, one, of course, it's, you have to be really thin. Like when I go to Korea and I go shopping for clothes, and in the US, I would say I'm a small, right? But if I pick out a small on the rack in Korea, the attendant will be like, oh, no, and then she'll give me a large. And she'll be like, and they say like large in Korea, like laji. I'm like, I'm not laji. And then I go home, I try, and I'm like, oh man, I'm laji in Korea. But there's a trend to be skinny, but also in Korea, what you'll see on subways, on billboards, in magazines, everywhere, are these skin whitener advertisements. Okay, these creams that are supposed to make, they're whitening creams. And so what the image is, they always have a model, very, very white, right? So the image is letting kids know, young people know, being white as possible is beautiful. And it's something that I think is like not natural, but that's what you have, that's why you should look at things like this and teach critical thinking skills and go even beyond this, but let them know that like there's something else going on here with what advertisers are doing to you, shaping your image of what is good and desirable and your image of yourself. Okay, so that's really the point here. Okay, why projects? Okay, another reason, not just developing 21st century skills, but also students can engage in real world communication. Okay, and that is one of the important things we want to make sure they can do. So in this unit, this was the Olympic Stadium in China, in Beijing, that they made into a water park. Okay. Anyway, so this unit is about cool vacations, right? Where students are learning all about different places where you can go, right, and take a vacation, and what you do with recreation. And then the project, of course, they're using a real form of communication, creating a tourist brochure. Now, I know people do projects like this, but also think about the 21st century skill of visual literacy. In fact, digital literacy, right? In fact, we're constantly bombarded by visual images. And when you communicate, it isn't just about the text. It's also about how you're using text and image together, which is a different thing, right? Because images can say things that text can't. Like they can say it with less words. So in fact, sometimes it's better to learn how to write things and communicate things more succinctly without wasting text when you can show it with an image, okay? Here's just a clip from my PD video program talking about this. Have them look at and discuss the layout, formatting, choice of photos or illustrations, color and size of text, amount of text used, and placement of text versus images. Then have them create their own visual. This is one more way that you can bring real-world content into the classroom to prepare your students for 21st century communication. Okay, so imagine you teach them how to interpret ads, but you're also then going to teach them the skills, not just to read them, but to write them themselves. They start to learn how to then, express themselves. Now, they're already on social media and presenting themselves, right, to the world, possibly. So to teach them how to do that responsibly and also effectively is very important. Now, also why projects? Well, it's an opportunity to build global citizenship skills, which we talked about earlier. Right? So here we have a unit on the wonders of the sea, where they start to learn about things right here in the ocean and different beings. And then, of course, the project is to make something that is going to help save the environment, save the corals, showing that they care, right, about the natural world around them. Build good global citizenship skills. It isn't just about respecting other people, but also our world. So, just a tip, okay? So something that is very important, goes to like when you're doing group work and things like that, you've got to give students step-by-step instructions and a model, right? So in this unit on my family, I love this because it's like showing the usual, right? The family, but in an unusual way, right? Hiking. Okay, you're teaching these words about the family, and you're going to have them make a poster. You saw the kid in Mexico doing this. Okay, one thing we try to do when kids are at a very low level is to not just make the instructions simple, step by step, like cut up and choose photos, glue photos, but also to show visually each step. Okay? And something very important with young kids is that you need to do it step by step. Like, don't be like, here are the instructions, and go ahead and do it. You have like 15 minutes. No, right? Okay, first, just cut out frames. Then next, choose the photos. So you get them step by step to do it, and it's not chaos. And when you give them a good model, of course, right, then they're able to follow it and be able to succeed. But of course, you see that they have their own sort of creative bent to the project. All right. Tip 2, of course, you always give them a chance to share their work or provide some kind of purpose, right, or goal for the project. Okay, so remember this project? Right, and you saw that picture of Sujin. She did this project with the kids, and then here they are presenting it.
Here's my country. What country is it? South Korea. This is South Korea? Okay. And here is my continent. Continent? What continent is it? Asia. Asia continent? And here is our Earth. Is it our Earth? Oh, very good.
Thank you. So adorable. And you can see that the project helped the student to do this simple Q&A, right? With the teachers asking questions and answering it, which students at that level, unless you're providing them that opportunity, they're never going to learn how to communicate. Now, I did also want to give you an example of this wiki project that I did with 2 of my teachers I worked with. One of the teachers was from Brazil, the other was from Belarus. And we decided that, they wanted their students to feel this real communication, to be communicating something to someone else in another country, and not necessarily the U.S., okay? So I was like, why don't the 2 of you use English as a form of global communication? Now I have this example. This example is actually in my, my book, which is called Teaching Young Learners English, and I take it step by step. And so the idea, of course, was to create a wiki about your class, school, city, country, kind of like those My World circles, right? And the projects were the first thing that we're going to do, never mind this, they spent some time with a picture and a poem about themselves. And then they, together, as a class, made a video of the school, just taking the, iPhone or whatever, simple, give the other kids a tour of the school, saying this is our playground, this is our cafeteria. And then they made, on the wiki, information about their city, where each group of students decided we're going to take a picture of this monument, and then just write what it is and describe it, and then country. And in the country, the motto was like, top 10 things you should see if you come to my country. And so then they just showed the things that they should do, like what food to eat, what places to go see. Okay, and then the next part is sharing. Then the teachers shared the wikis with each other. Now the wikis, if you use wiki spaces, it's password protected, so it wasn't public. It was only just the 2 classes could see each other's wikis. So a lot of times people are concerned when it's public and anybody can see their kids. In this case, you can't see the kids unless you have the password. So after they were finished developing the wikis, the teachers shared it. Okay, now here's just the model of our class. So I created this. This is my nephew. He's super adorable. Okay, and this is his name acrostic, right? I am a boy, I speak English, I like new toys and Legos, I like jumping on my bed, I love chocolate ice cream, right? And then Benji. Okay? And so this was the model. And so the example from Belarus, you see there's different names of kids here. And here's Jenya, right? Jenya. My name is Jenya. I'm from Belarus. I'm 9. I study at gymnasium number 12. I like reading, dancing, and meeting with my friends. Jenya. Okay, so they followed the model. Now the students in Brazil decided to do it their own way. Okay? So they decided to take selfies, they decided to write some text, they decided to do some audio, right? And then some of them decided to make a video. So the teacher kind of was like, you can do it in your own way. And they did. Okay, you want to see the video clip? Yeah, it was so cute.
Where are you from? I'm from Brazil. How old are you? I am 11 years old. My birthday is in August 12. What are you going to eat? I'm what are your hobbies? My hobby is swimming and sleeping.
I think they're sleeping was a hobby.
My favorite singer is Anastasia. What's your favorite band? My favorite band is Calypso.
I love these kids, oh my gosh. So, actually, these teachers share the wikis, and in my TEYL group, other teachers kind of post like, I'm looking for, another class, this age students to share, things like projects with. And so right now I'm working with, in fact, I have two schools that are both using Our World. So they decided, well, we want to share the Our World projects in each unit with another school. So there's a school in Taiwan working with this school in Brazil. And they're actually, planning to share the projects. And they did the video tour of their school. And it's just a wonderful way to make that communication, realer, I guess you could say. Because that introduction, you could find that in any textbook, actually, right? What is your name? My name is so-and-so. Where are you from? I'm from, What are your hobbies? My hobbies are blah. So it's an assignment, but it became more real for the students because they knew that they were introducing themselves to students in another country. So projects are a great way to be able to connect, right, the language to something real. Last tip is always do the project yourself, right? If you make your own project with enthusiasm, your students will have a language and a role model to follow. And I always tell teachers, kids love to learn things about their teacher. And so when you do the project and they get to learn a little bit about you, they absolutely love and adore that. Okay, so it's also important for you to show you're doing it. What's another reason why you should do the project before you go to class? Because then you can see which parts are going to be more difficult for your students. It ensures that you didn't miss certain materials that you need. The worst is when you come to class and then you didn't do the project yourself and then you see all your students getting stuck in the same place, right? So it's very important, do it yourself. All right, so I'm at the end. This is just a summary. Again, I'll post this on my Google site. But why projects? Students can practice new language in context, relate language and content to their lives and culture. Learn important 21st century skills. What skills? The 4 C's: communication, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity. Yeah. Also, we want them to engage in real-world communication, including things that encourage digital communication, visuals with text, and building global citizenship skills. Always remember step-by-step instructions, a model to follow, give them a purpose, and always do the project yourself. So, I hope this has made you somewhat interested in using projects like these. I encourage you, if you do want to do some sort of an exchange, go ahead and post it in the TEYL group. I am often not involved at all, because when you post, some teachers will be like, hey, I'm in El Salvador and I want to do this too, okay? All right, so a couple more words. So in case it's, you might say, oh, we've seen materials here, there, we're not sure what it's about. Okay, so the projects that I just showed you all came from Our World. That's a primary series, right, for grades 1 to 6. The songs, right? The Ali Baba, he has a big farm. These are for 3 to 5-year-old children. That is in Welcome to Our World. So all of the songs here come from around the world. Right? In our world, we have songs that have been written by professional songwriters that are really amazing, like the Our World theme song. Okay, but here we also have lots of video that comes from, National Geographic that shows the real world. Also storybooks and readers like the one that I passed out. And actually, in the readers, this one is actually about King Midas, right? These also are stories, folk tales that come from all around the world. Okay, as well as nonfiction that show around the world. So our world just comes with everything you might need to put the language in context and teach kids language from the inside. As I said, Welcome to Our World has the songs, but it also has projects too. And so we have little projects for the little kids, like making a bean shaker to sing with, or a cute duck mask. So adorable. That's Welcome to Our World. Then we have Our World. We also have a very brand new series. These student books have just started to be printed. So the full series, all the components are not out, but I just want to introduce it to you. It's for young teens, right, 12 to 14. It's called Impact. And in Impact, we, in every unit, feature a National Geographic explorer who is doing work to help our planet and to teach us about our world in every single unit. So again, it's for like young teens. And in Impact, again, we have projects, right? So we have projects that are called Make an Impact. So all of these are trying to teach our youth how to make an impact in the world. And these are end of the unit projects that reinforce language and knowledge taught in the unit. So just as an example, right, because we want them to be active participants, a unit we have, so it takes a village, right? And students end up being introduced to this National Geographic explorer who used like crowdsourcing to help people in crisis. So if there's like a tsunami or if there's an earthquake, right? He developed something to be able to crowdsource and grab all that information on social media that people are posting to try to map, right, the crisis or the disaster to give aid to the people who need it. Okay? So this person is using technology and the latest in social networking in order to be able to help other people, right, and do your part. So in this case, right, they're learning about, that it takes a village. They learn about how to be able to help each other, and the projects are about creating awareness for charity, also about inventing, right? We're trying to teach creativity and innovation, looking at a teen inventor, or trying to invent a solution yourself to a problem existing. All right, so I hope that you found this enjoyable and interesting. That's all about projects. Has a few words that she would like to say to you.
So,
Okay, go ahead.
Now we're on. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit on the theme of projects, to tell you about something that we're launching called Project Yourself. So we want your learners to take part in projects and we want to see what you're doing, basically. Starting in September this year, you will have a choice of 2 Our World projects per term. You can choose one of the 2 projects in your class per term. Do it all together. Everyone can do it. Once they're finished, you choose the one project that you think is the most amazing of all your students. Submit it to us, and each term the Our World authors will select one project to be a national winner, which is very exciting. So all the winners will get some really exciting prizes, but all your class will also get certificates as well. So everyone gets something. For more information, you can visit the Greek regional page. So yeah, please take pictures, note it down. It's all up there, as is the submission form. So when you've done it, fill in the form and send it back to us. But do get involved. We really want to see what your students are up to, and it's a great way to make them feel important as well, because a national winner is quite exciting. Something else that I just wanted to talk to you about is some new material that we have coming this summer. So we have a grammar workbook. So they are new for Our World and Explore Our World. They are supplements and provide extra grammar exercises, so extra to what's been offered in the student material. They're for use individually, so inside or outside the classroom, and independent of the teacher, so for the students to do themselves. With a very brief run through, I appreciate that's a lot of text, so 9 units, 4 pages of grammar activities per unit. You've got review sections, so 3 partial reviews and 1 cumulative review, so practicing all the grammar points, using all the vocabulary and ending in sort of a grammar game. Again, all the activities are done individually. There is no audio component, and all the answer keys will be posted on MyND Connect, so you can access them there. That is one of the spreads from the new one. Obviously it won't have the answers in when you give it to your students. Another thing we have coming is our ABC book. So this is Our World ABC book, available with the Our World Phonics American English. But I will stress that it can be done separately, it doesn't have to be done with phonics, and it's suitable for American and British English Our World users, just so you know. So it will have the alphabet presentation, numbers 1 to 10 with practice, 5 pages of pre-writing practice, and 8 pages of writing practice, and a review game. There will be teacher support in the Our World Phonics Teacher's Guide, but if you're using it on its own as a separate component, then all the support materials for you guys will be available online. And again at the bottom, so it is suitable for American and British English users. And there are some pages, and we do have some printed versions of these pages upstairs on the stand, so if you're interested to have a look, please go ahead and look, along with all the other exciting things we have. So I'd just like to say to finish, thank you very much, Joan. I'm sure you'll agree, I hope you agree that they were 2 fantastic sessions. I hope they proved useful. I hope you're feeling inspired and full of lots of ideas to take back to your own young learners. Again, thank you to our team in Greece for a fantastic event. And most importantly, thank you to you for joining us. It's really, really great to see so many people here. Thank you again, Joan. I wish you all safe journeys home. Please do pick up your certificate as you leave. And please also leave us your name tags. Please, you can keep your nice attractive yellow lanyard, but please put your badges in the bag which is upstairs, and if you do, you'll be automatically entered into a raffle to win a nice National Geographic photo book, which are hard to come by, so I would recommend it. Thank you very much, and Stop.